Am I really that much to handle? Breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really know you are.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Brittany, and I'm back with another video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that. I keep getting the BGC requests, but instead of doing like my top 15 or whatever, I'm gonna do that later. But right here, right now, I'm gonna tell you guys my favorite fights from the whole entire BGC franchise seasons 1 through 17. I know I usually look cute when I get on here, but I'm telling y'all, I had a timesy last night, so yeah, I ain't even feel like, so we being comfortable today, comfortable and intimate. So yeah, y'all, I got a couple, lists of fights that are my faves, but I'm telling y'all, I can go back and watch these fights and it'll just put me in a good, that sound ignorant, but yeah, regardless, these are my fave fights from the whole BGC franchise, and I don't want to take too much of y'all's time, so yeah, let's just get into it. Okay, so first, season 1, Ty and Amy. Well, y'all, I'm gonna do this in order by seasons. This is not like a ranking or anything. Yeah, I'm just doing it in order by season. So yeah, starting with season 1, Ty and Amy. Because, and y'all, I love the fact that Amy was trying to take off her sandals or whatever so she can try to, I don't know what she thought she was going to do, taking off her sandals. But it did, I like the fact that Ty was nice enough to let her take off her sandals, let her run up and still get done up. Because it's just like, girl, I'm already beating you with your slides on. You say you want to take your slides off to give you a little, okay, girl, I'm going to let you take your slides off. Took the slides off and she still got ran up and dan up. And it, like, but y'all, that scene was just so sad because afterwards Leslie was so disappointed because she knew that her friend was going, I like Ty and Leslie. Their friendship was so cute. It was so cute. And she was just so upset when Ty beat up old girl. But me watching her beat up old girl, I was just like, ha ha ha. And then we skip a few seasons and then we get the season 4. And then we have Natalie versus Portia. Another iconic, y'all. But I was on Twitter the other day, somebody posted the fight and somebody was just like, oh, Portia didn't beat up Natalie and woo woo. And it's just like, I get it, y'all are new fans, y'all watch Baddies, so y'all probably went back and watched Natalie's season. Like I said in my other video, Natalie had potential to make it a tie, but she stopped swinging. The thing with that fight was Portia just never stopped swinging. They were like, oh, Portia was just hitting the back of her head. Okay, and she still got the W on her regardless. Yeah, she was tearing the back of her head up. Natalie, she did her little did afterward. She stopped swinging. Like if Natalie would have kept swinging like Portia, she had potential to make it a tie, but for some reason she stopped swinging, which gave Portia the W. Because throughout that whole fight, even when they were separating them, Portia just never stopped swinging. Like, I'm sorry. Like I said, I get it that y'all are probably new. Y'all watch Baddies and whatnot, but let's just call it how it is. Portia, she got the W on Natalie. It's like, oh, she was hitting the back of her. It don't matter. It don't matter. Portia got the W. But yeah, one of my fave fights. Another fight, altercation, whatever you want to call this one, I enjoy from season 4 is Amber and Flo. Because let me tell y'all something about this Amber and Flo thing. Amber and Flo, they were arguing about bisexuality because apparently Amber she didn't like bisexual people, and it's just like, who knows why. However, they've been arguing about that for like days now, but you have some boys in the house, some liquor in the house, mainly some boys in the house. They talk about bisexuality and now Amber's, ew, like, oh my gosh. It's like, bro, you know Flo's bisexual. Y'all went to a lesbian bar. Like, before this happened. But I get it. Like, I get it. I'm a girl too. I know how girls be when you around all girls and then a group of guys come. It's just like, oh shit, let me stand out in front of these guys. And this is Bad Girls Club. I need these guys to know that I'm on that. And I need these guys to know that I ain't going for none of that bisexual stuff. And you know, these boys in the house, they freaky. They like this bisexual stuff. So it's just like, no, let me stand out and let these boys know that, you know, I'm on that. So she ended up pushing Flo in the pool. And the crazy thing about this, Flo was jumping. She had 1 foot and she was still able to fling Amber around. That was the thing that tickled me. Cause it's like, no, I knew Flo was kind of strong, but it's like the way she flung Amber like 2 feet away from her was just, I was like, I was like amazed by it. I was just like, whoa, this girl Flo is just strong as hell. Like, she is someone that I would not, like, when Perez Hilton was talking about he was scared of Flo, like, I was on the wave with him too. I was like, yeah, I'm scared of Flo too. Cause it's just like, she has a broken ankle and she was still able to sling Amber across. Not like she whooped Amber's ass or anything, but it's just like, she probably could have. Because even when she was slinging, Amber had her head down and she was just like, and it was just like, girl, you should have been able, like, this girl got 1 foot. Like, you was supposed to be able to do a little something, but she did it. And I was just like, damn. Then we skipped to season 5. No lie, the whole Morgan versus House fight, it was cool, but it wasn't my fave. That fight was only interesting to me when Morgan bust into the control room. Like, if Morgan didn't bust into the control room, I honestly wouldn't have paid that fight any attention. Like, I just would have been like, oh, okay. But fast forward later on to the season, in the beach fight, I don't care what y'all say. I don't think the beach fight is overrated. I literally enjoyed watching that. And then on top of that, behind the scenes, Brandy was just like, that fight got way more crowded, way more brutal than what it was. And they really had security to, you know, lead them out of there, because everyone that was on the beach was kind of against them. It was rumored that it was people from Jersey Shore on there, and that's why they had to cut it, because, you know, you got Bad Girls Club recording, you got Jersey Shore recording, and I was just like, damn, like, somebody needs to leak the footage to the whole beach fight. But y'all, that was in the world where we didn't have iPhones and people weren't just recording themselves everywhere. But if that would have happened this day and age, we would have been able to see that whole thing. We would have been able to see that whole thing, and I would have loved it. So it's just like, yeah, damn, if somebody got the full footage to the beach fight, the nitty gritty, like, y'all send that to me. And then an honorable mention for season 5. Okay, this wasn't really a fight, but Brandy, I'm not a heroine addict, ho. How dare she? How dare she? You don't know what that does to me. You don't know what I've been through. Like, I still quote that to this day. And I'm mad that when I say that nobody knows. Like, when I say how dare she and nobody finish it off, it really pisses me off. I said, I need more friends that were sneaking watching Bad Girls Club at 10 like me. Like, what were y'all doing? Watching SpongeBob? Like, then another thing, y'all remember when Brandy flipped the heck out, destroyed the whole house, and people were bleeding? It was glass everywhere. She threw a panini maker. Y'all gotta remember when Brandy just flipped the hell out. And she was flipping the hell out because Leah didn't forgive her. I love that too. But it just kind of blew me, because it's just like, yo, over Leah, like, I get it, that was your friend, but it's not that deep. Leah don't like you anymore, and it's just like, she want to be Kristen Jr., and it's just like, okay, just let it go. You throwing a panini maker, throwing glass, breaking the statues in the house, I was just like, whoa. Y'all gotta go to Justin JC and listen to Brandy's interview about that whole thing, because I'll tell you, Brandy spilled tea. And I watched like all 2 hours of that interview. I was just like, yo, Brandy was way more unhinged than they showed us. And then we skipped to season 3. And then we got what's her name? Oh yeah, Ashley and Corey. I love that fight. Like, I really do. Because of the fact, especially that when they were fighting, Ashley came out of nowhere, bink, and then you just see Corey, and it was connecting. I was just like, okay. Somebody pointed out to me, though, in the comments how Jessica did push them, and I was just like, okay. Like, that fight was crazy. Let me punch that in the face. And then another. All of Wilma and Nikki's rounds, like, I wouldn't even be able to pick one. In the limo, Wilma tore her up. When they got in the house, Wilma tore her up with the lamp. And then she tore her up with no shirt on. I was like, yo, every time that Wilma and Nikki fought, Wilma just did her every time. And it just, well, I didn't like Nikki, so I didn't care. But it did kill me that Nikki just never swung. Like, why did Nikki never fight? Like, why was she built like a freaking not a quarterback? Why was she built like a linebacker and she didn't do anything? Like, was she just like, she was like, my dad calls me Nicholas. Like, why does he call you that? Like, you don't got no hands to fight or know how to defend yourself. Like, does he just call you this because you look and sound like a man? But like, what? I'm confused. And then we get to season 7, and no lie, my faves, of course, Judy and Priscilla. I love Shelly and Stassi's fights. But one fight that I do not hear people talk about that I feel like is really fire are Tiara and Angie. Like, do y'all not remember Tiara and Angie fighting? Like, if y'all don't say round one, if y'all don't like round one, it's like, okay, cool. But Tiara did flip Angie ass over, and she was getting her. But then you skip the round 2, and Angie left with her face scratched up. Mind you, though, about that fight, I did feel like Angie was getting her, but Tiara was kind of falling over, so she was probably able to, get a few punches and, scratch and whatnot. But round 2, I do feel like Angie was getting her. But I really don't be hearing people talk about that fight. It's like, nah, Angie and Tiara's rounds were fire. But we all know Judy and Priscilla, 10 out of 10. Like, they had to have that as the opening fight. And then Shelly and Stassi. Stassi, you have no idea who your content. I know exactly who. Like, that first hit, like, Shelly's head, like, just bounced, like, bobblehead. Like, she was able to put her food on the ground. And then, like I said, Stassi was holding her legs with one arm and hitting her with the other arm. And it's just like, Shelly, how you let that happen? And then the second round, she came back and did you again. You talking about, let me hit her. No, you had your opportunity to hit her. You just didn't. So it's just like, and then after, like, but yeah, those were my favorite fights of that season. Then we get to season 8. And of course, one of the faves, which it was just my phase too, was the twins versus the house. I really do feel like that jump was justified. The twins wanted to cry to the producers, like, it's not fair. It's 5 against 2. Okay, well, it was 5 against 1 with Elise, and it was 2 against 1 with Elise with you guys. And now that it's 5 against 2, it's like, it's an issue. Like, no, I wanted the twins to get jumped, because it's like what people say, like, just desserts, taste of your own medicine. Because when it was everybody else, it was funny, but now that it's y'all, it's not funny. We said we're gonna get rid of this chick, and that's what we're gonna do. Y'all ended up going home instead. Like, no lie, Elise turned lame at the end, but I'm glad that she ultimately decided to stay, because it's like her leaving just would have proved a point. And it's just like, nah, she kind of deserved to stay, because it's just like, don't let these girls bully you out the house. Like, these girls were weak, and their ringleader was some girl with red hair who went by the name Venetia, but her name was Erica. Like, don't let them throw you out the house. Like, what? And honestly, no lie, I get people's nicknames aren't their names all the time, but did anybody ever call Erica in the house Venetia? Because it's just like, what? Like, I couldn't stand her. Like, what is Venetia? And then I really don't hear people talk about this fight either, but I love this fight. Y'all remember when Amy knocked the Mario coins out of Mimi's head in the kitchen after she found out somebody put her weave in the oven? Like, Mimi could not fight at all, cause not like Amy was just some heavy hitter, but you know, she did a little something. Amy wasn't scary, and she did a little something to Mimi, cause that knot on Mimi's head was like this big afterwards. And I remember when she put Mimi on the ground and Mimi just started kicking. It's just like, yeah, you ain't expect that from Lil Amy. I was sitting here calling her, talking about she a playboy, you know, she a drunk, you know, white girl, woo woo woo. But drunk white girl is just what Mimi is. Like, no lie. Like, she knocked the Mario coins out of that girl head. Like, it was like, I was amazed. Fast forward later on to that season, Camila and Amy, both rounds were fired. Like, one, they went from having sex to 20 minutes later fighting. It did look like Amy was, you know, drunk out of her. Amy probably doesn't even remember that night. No lie. But, you know, I'm pretty sure she woke up and was just like, oh, why does my head hurt? Girl, because Camila, she just, you know, she just knocked some sense out of you. Because it's like, yeah, y'all went from being in the shower, getting out the shower, arguing about a towel. But Camila said something about, you know, they always had to be naked in front of the camera crew and whatnot, and she had to get out naked. So she feel like Amy should have got out naked too in front of all the camera people. And it's just like, shoot, I don't even know why Amy had an issue with it. Like, girl, you were naked all the time in the house. But like I said, the girl was drunk. So maybe it was just like she didn't want to be, but it's like, shoot, yeah, she was always drunk in the house. So it's like, I didn't know why she didn't want to be naked around Troy. You know, I don't know why she didn't feel like being naked in front of Troy that day. But yeah, when she did put her clothes on, like Camila said, I'm not the one. And then afterwards, when her and Amy fought a second time, and Camila was just like, bink, 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 and Amy was just like, she's holding my arms, they're holding my arms. I was just like, girl, even when your arms was free, they wasn't doing anything. But, you know, I condemn Amy for, you know, for not being scary and not having to jump. But then it's just like, that's how that happened. They did try to jump Camila. But it's just like, Amy just got caught lacking. And then that was the scene when Camila's mom was on the phone. And it was like, the whole scene was just iconic. Like, I love it. And then we skip to season 9. And no lie, I really want to say that all of season 9's fights were very, very entertaining. Like, literally. But my favorite was Christina and Julie round 1, because I really don't think round 1 Christina whooped Julie like how we thought. Because Julie, you know, she was getting her pow in, but afterwards it all just faded. It was just like, she did cool that round 1, but then afterwards it was just like, yeah. And Rima never stood a chance with Megan. People always be like, oh, Megan was hitting the side of her body and whatnot. And it's like, I give y'all that. No, Megan and Rima's fights weren't my fave, but I did find them very entertaining. But another one of my faves that I really don't see y'all talk about is Julie and Rima, and it's just like, afterwards, why did Julie think that she whooped Rima? Like, they were literally sitting on the couch, like on the legs of the couch, and Rima was just, and Julie was just like, Julie was just confused. And then the fact that after the fight was broken up and she thought she won, she was like, she got her ass whipped by Megan. I whipped her ass again. It was just like, where was the whip? And I did not see the ass whipping you gave Rima. Like, no, yai. Like, Julie, what are you doing? And then Rima just started spazzing out. I had enough of this. I'm from Chicago. And it's just like, girl, please don't think you tough because you beat up Julie. Like, I get it. Like, you feeling a little something, but yeah, you still got beat up by Megan. It was just like, I get it, the whole house against you, but don't think you did that one little thing, but you still not that dude just because you beat up Julie. Like, no lie. And then we get to Erica versus Rima. If I wanted to have a baby and the father not take care of it, I could easily do that. Right. That's what you said? You talking about my kid? No, I'm talking about you. Like, that whole scene had me shook. And then what killed me about that, why was Ashley screaming and looking like she was about to cry during that fight? Like, that always kills me too. Cause it's just like, no lie, Erica, she was slinging wild and she was, doing her thing on Reba. But it's just like, Ashley crying, about to cry during it. It was like, girl, it was not that deep. Like, I just love that fight because that whole scene was just funny. And then them pinning to Ashley and she was just like if I was Erica, I would have hit Ashley just because of that. Like, girl, shut up. It was not that deep. And then we get to the most iconic fight of season 9. And that's Megan versus Rima and Fallon. Because, like, and what kills me about that fight is that it was 2-on-1 in the 1-1. Like, well, I'm telling you, Fallon and Rima had so much potential to F Megan up. Like, they had so much potential to F Megan up. Like, I get it. She hit y'all from behind, Rima, but Fallon, when you turned around and saw what was going on, you could have, like, oh shit, but instead of doing that, you, like, I was just, Fallon is probably one of the worst fighters ever. Cause y'all have potential to do something. Like, we all know Rima can't fight, but it's just like, Fallon, you were the second one to get hit. So after you saw what was happening with the first person, you had potential to do something. And that's just why that fight is so iconic. Like, just like, it just is. It just is. Then we run to season 10 in the ATL, my city. Y'all, I still want to go see the Atlanta BGC 10 house. Like, I really need to figure out where that house is so I can ask that whoever is there, like, can I get a tour of this house? Like, it's so much history here. Like, what? But besides the point, my favorite fights of season 10 are, this may sound ignorant, but Rocky and Jen and Valentina. One, because it's like, that fight was a tie between, Rocky and Jen. Especially if you see, like, yeah, Rocky was getting Jen, but if you look at it slow-mo, Jen was uppercutting, and then Valentina tried to get into it. But y'all, what made me laugh about that scene is like when Valentina came, she like slid. It's like she was just sliding, then she saw it and she went towards it. Like, girl. And then she tried to jump in. Shannon held her back, and then she was just like, it was just too much going on. It was just too much going on. And then by the end of that, Rocky just thought that she kind of dominated and won the fight because she took, Jen's wig off. But it's just like, girl, like, I know you felt them damn uppercuts. Like, no lie, because I was feeling them, through the screen. Like, Jen, no lie, Shorty was strong. Like, she had good upper body strength. She really did. Like, looking back at it, like, she was kind of strong. So I like that fight. And another fight that tickled me on that was Shannon and Paula. And it was only because, like, even though Shannon was just like, oh, she wasn't doing anything to me. It's like, okay, cool. That little girl wasn't doing anything to you. You still didn't do anything. And the rumor still is like, oh, Shannon had a military contract and they told her if she fight, then she would be sent home. And it's just like, why did she sign up for the show then? Like, so was her whole... Like, I'm just curious to know what Shannon's mindset was. Because it's just like, that means she knew all this whole time, like, I need to be fake because I had to wait until the reunion to do my big one. And it was just like, what, you could have, like, what was the point? Because, like, not like Shannon was just not being fake. Like, you were doing weird stuff. So of course people are going to want to fight you, or you just gonna try to verbally make your, like, I don't know, maybe she wanted to go in Bad Girls Club to learn how to communicate because she can't fight. But then it's like she was so mute in the house. Like, the only time she did actually speak up for herself is with this whole Paula thing, and it's just like Paula just, and I'm just amazed that Paula may be strong as hell too, because Shannon is big AF. And the way she was just dragging Shannon across the bed, I was just like, no, Shannon did not just let that happen. And it's just like, was Shannon, like, was it in her contract that she has to be completely defenseless? Because it's like, you could have pushed Paula off, you could have had some type of resistance. Like, you just let that girl drag you across the bed, and I was just like, wow. And then we have Rocky versus Alicia outside, and then Alicia wanted to talk about, oh, she was snuck, she was caught off guard. Mind you, before Rocky ran up on her, the words that came out of her mouth was, please do something to me. And Rocky was walking towards her. This is Alicia. She was walking towards her, saying, oh, you want to jump me? You want to jump me? Like, you did not get snugged. You weren't caught off guard. And you said 5 seconds before, if somebody wants to do something to you instead of your picture, they need to do it to you. So it's just like, girl, please just take your L. And then she tried to get her get back. Oh, this is also one of my favorite fights. Alicia versus Rocky again. Alicia trying to get her get back. It ended up on the bottom. Like, I really do hate when they sneak people and they end up, like, just not winning. Like, their whole purpose of sneaking somebody and catching somebody off guard is so you can get that extra, you know, and it's just like she was even eating her hits from Alicia. It's not like when Alicia was hitting her, she was just like, oh my gosh, and she was falling. Like, she was able to get up, flip Alicia big ass over, and still beat Alicia's ass. Like, she hit Rocky in the face at least 5 times, and Rocky was still in the camera. You ain't doing nothing. Look at me. Look at me. I was just like, yeah, I'm looking. Like, Alicia really didn't do shit to you. Like, yeah. Like, Alicia was the one that was looking effed up. Like, girl, you snuck the girl. You were supposed to win. Rocky was supposed to be the one walking out of here leaking. Miss Shy Fly in this building. Like, girl, please leave. Like, you just embarrassed yourself. And then we skip to season 11. And no lie, I really don't have a favorite fight from season 11. Well, I take that back. I do, but I really did not like a lot of the fights in season 11. I really do feel like that season was interesting just due to the fact that it was just a lot of drama and BS going on. No lie. Like, y'all, like, I know y'all gonna judge me for that, but it was just a whole bunch going on in that season. But it's like, the fights weren't really what was there, because it was just like, they were just, you know, Wolfpack versus whatever. But I do have on here the Shanae versus Gigi and Steph, because, oh, excuse me, because, yeah, it's the fact that Stephanie, like, we forgot that she was on that season. Like, I really did forget Stephanie was on that season until that moment. And then it's like, you taking your socks off. I see that as you want to fight. Like, yeah, I would have been like Shanae, like, girl, I'm good. I'm just trying to get in the bed. You in here trying to mess with me, and now I got no choice but to handle your ass. Cause it's just like, if Gigi really didn't jump in that fight, Stephanie, it would have been over with. Cause Shanae, she handled both of them. And then they had the nerve to get in the confessional talking about they think that they won the fight. Like, I'm glad that they played it in slow-mo of Stephanie, like, getting binked in her head. Cause it's just like, y'all didn't do anything to her. And then I hate the fact that they said Shanae's friends were outside the whole time. Like, if Bad Girls Club really, if that season really wanted some ratings, some views, and some anything, they would have let at least one of Shanae's friends just come in there It could have been Shanae and her friends versus the Wolfpack in the house. So it's just like that season, it's just like y'all wanted Shanae to leave. Y'all wanted her to get jumped. And it's like, was Shanae on some weird stuff eventually? Like, yeah, but it's just like y'all could have let her and Stephanie get the head up. And since they wanted to jump her, it's just like, oh, you know, you still got your friends outside. You want to bring your friends in? Yeah, and Stephanie could have told her friends like, oh, they just tried to jump me, and they could have got a cracker right there, because I don't think they probably would have wanted to smoke with Shanae's friends, because they were already being quiet and being weird to Shanae's friends when they were there. But then when her friends left, y'all wanted to jump her. So it's just like, I like that fight, but it's like it would have had so much potential. It has so much potential to be greatness if they would have let Shanae's friends in. Like, no lie. Then we get to season 12. And my favorite fights from season 12 are Lo and Jada. But only the first one and the second round. The third round, when they were in the phone booth, was kind of, you know, it was kind of like, eh. But the first round, I like that one because Jada, she was just talking at the mouth, and she really just, I don't know what she expected from Lo, but it seemed like she was kind of shook after that fight. Like, you can see it in her face. She was just kind of like, damn, you know, I didn't expect her to do all that. Not like Lo was just like some heavy hitter, but she probably just thought that Lo was just some loud country girl that, you know, didn't, you know, that was just all talk. But it didn't, especially the way that Lo jumped on her at first. It was just kind of like, Lo was angry. Like, girl, you better be mad that I'm being fake to Slim, and y'all barely even like Slim. Like, what? And then round 2, Jada being in her room. No lie, Lo kind of got her. Lo got her that round. You country ass. I'll give you cornbread, collard green, country. Like, I love that fight. The rest of the fights on season 12, it was just kind of like, yeah, but those 2 fights, I like it. And then we skip a few seasons. Whoop, 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 and we go to season 15. No lie, season 15 was not my favorite, but they had some interesting fights that are on my favorite list. Like Amber and Asia versus Jamie and Jazz on the stairs. She gonna stop talking and she gonna get her ass beat every time. All she do is talk. Like, okay, girl. But no lie, Amber and Asia, they got the W on that. And then afterwards, I also like the fight when Christina had told Hanan or Susu, one of them, to like, oh, you a mom or go take care of your kids or something. And they just flipped, and it was Christina and Christina and Asia versus Hanan and Susu, and they were throwing chairs, and it was just a lot. I was just like, whoa. I was just like, okay. And then another fight when I think it was Christina and Asia again versus Jamie and Jazz, and that fight was a little so too. And that fight just came from them just hating on Jamie and Jazz, talking about, oh, we don't like the way y'all twerk. Hanan and Susu can actually twerk. That's why we don't get disgusted at the way they twerk. But they're still twerking. Y'all just don't like the way we do it because we don't know how to do it. Like what? Just say y'all don't like the girls. Like, if they would have been honest and was just like, yo, we are hating on Jamie and Jazz, then it would have been okay. Because at the end of the day, Jamie and Jazz didn't care. But it's just like, y'all pick fights with us for no reason. We're calling y'all out on y'all hating on us because y'all have 2 people in the house that's doing the same thing that we do. But now y'all like the way they do it and don't like the way we do it. Like, what? And when that whole fight happened, the thing about season 15 was it was just somebody else and their sister or their cousin or whatever. So all the fights were at least gonna be 2-on-2. And so every time somebody fought, it was just like a big, like, it was just like chaos. So it's just like, I like those fights too. And then we get to season 16. And when we get to season 16, no lie, I liked all Bernicia and Z's fights. Like, round 2 was kind of like, like, it seemed like Z just put her in like a headlock. But like, especially round 1 and round 3, it was fire to me. And it's because they did look at Bernicia as she was just like, some little girl, she got kids, she's short, she's small, like, she ain't really, and then she going against Z, she ain't really gonna do nothing. But Z was, you didn't even get me. Why you putting ice on your head? I'm not gonna touch her. And running down the stairs and trying to touch her, Slay talking about, Z, look out. Like, no, don't warn her. I also like Persuasion versus Winter too. I like that fight too. And then, like, I'm curious on how hard that she bit her finger. But it's just like, it's probably because Winter probably just wasn't fighting with a closed fist. Like, every time you fight, you supposed to at least keep your fist closed. Because you know how people say there's no rules in fighting? Like, it's really not. Like, you don't know what somebody gonna do to you. So I knew Winter wasn't saying, like, her finger, like, she bit her finger off. But it's just like, you know how hard you gotta be biting to bite your freaking, like, cause y'all didn't see her finger. Like, her fingernail was like split in half. So it's just like, I was shook. I was just like, whoa. And then Bernicia and Candace. And then to me, Candace was kind of like a weirdo. Like, I thought Candace was gonna be cool at first, but Candace, she just quickly turned into a weirdo to me. And yeah, no lie, like, I thought she was gonna be cool, but she became weird to me after like her first episode of being there. Like, the camping episode, it was just like, okay, new girl. But after that, it was just like, yeah. Then her obsession with Bernicia was just weird. It was just like, girl, it's not that deep. Like, okay, you slept with the girl and now she don't like you, she don't want to be with you. It's like, that's no reason to want to keep messing with the girl because she don't want to sleep with you. Like, girl, it's not that deep. And then when they fought, that fight was just interesting to me because, Candace, she was trying to make it seem like, she beat Bernicia, and it's just like, girl, you didn't do that. I don't think Bernicia beat Candace either, but it was just like they was kind of equally yoked. Like I said, Bernicia was just so small and so tiny. So it's just like, I'm guessing everybody that fought her was just thinking that, it was gonna be an easy W, but it's like, nah. And yeah, Candace wasn't really doing what she thought she was doing, or doing how she was doing. Yeah, if y'all get what I mean. Like, about that fight, it's like, I don't want to say Bernicia won, but Candace didn't win either. So it's just like, yeah. And then we get to season 17, and for season 17, no lie, Bree versus Fran. Because Fran really, I'm guessing, I don't know why, I honestly didn't like her. And like, I really do feel like she should have went to hype man school instead of trying to be on Bad Girls Club. Like, not saying everybody on Bad Girls Club needs to know how to fight or be tough, but it's just like, I just felt like it just wasn't the place for her. Like, I saw her somewhere, I don't know where I can see her, but it's just like, yeah, she should have been in hype man school, because her being scared of everything, it's just like, and by this point, this was season 17, and it's just like, don't be oblivious to the fact that everyone's gonna like you, or you're gonna be able to talk crap and nobody not do anything. Like, I think Bree did pee in a limo, and is that nasty? Yes, like, of course, because it's like, girl, like, what are you doing? But you commenting on it to a drunk girl that's peeing in the cup, yeah, she's gonna be offended by it. And it's like, she called me a dirty, pissy bitch. Like, I'm not trying to start a fight with you, Brianna. It was just kind of like, girl, like, stop. Like, just let it happen. And then the fact that Kiki wanted to, then it's just like, Fran was weird and Kiki was weirder because it's just like, Fran doesn't need a mom. Like, for real. Like, she really didn't need a mom. Like, big sister is like, okay, but you talking about, I feel like I gotta defend her. Like, no, Fran needs to defend herself. And then you trying to defend Fran for her, and Brie ended up doing you too. It's like, now y'all both look stupid. And then you have to slap Sayora to get some of your anger out. But it's just like, girl, you should have been... Well, you couldn't slap Brie because she already beat you up. So it's just like... Yeah, that whole season was just kind of like... No lie. Now that I'm thinking about it, that season was kind of weird. But another fight I love in that season was Brie versus Key. Key. Because it's just like, Key, she was just weird. She was like so aggressive in the house, like big dog and whatnot. Granted, she did find out some depressing news before Brie effed her up, but it's just like, no lie, Brie still effed her up, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. And no lie, it was kind of satisfying to see, because it's just like, yeah, girl, like, you've been doing too much this whole season, and it's just like, somebody she deserved to get beat up. Like, no lie. So me enjoyed seeing that. And then Seven versus Kiki and Key versus Brie at the end. I like those fights too, you know, and I think those happen simultaneously. What's funny? Something funny. And then it's just like, Kiki, no lie, I hate to say this, but it's just like, she just took hella L's on that show. Like, and it's just like, I don't know if she thought she was gonna be able to use her sides with everything, or maybe she was just one of those big people that are kind of light, because didn't Susan like flip her ass over too? And it's just like, because I know I wouldn't be able to flip her over unless I could. It's just like, at this point, I was thinking like she was just all boobs. Like, people were sitting talking like, oh, she's fat. I was just like, I don't know, because she getting, like, everybody flipping her over too easily. Like, or maybe she just clumsy or something. Like, I'm honestly not trying to sound ignorant, but it's just like, yeah, because I don't think I was seeing, you know, well, not to bring Tanisha into this, but I really don't think people were I don't think people were gonna be able to flip Tanisha over. Or maybe Kiki just couldn't fight, which she couldn't. But it's just like, it's no way in hell. Like, Kiki just took so many L's on that season. Like, it was just like, girl, at least know how to use your sides to dominate people. Cause it's just like, you could have pushed yourself on top of Seven and got on top of her and did a little something. Like, it's no way you let that girl run up on you and drop you like that. And then for Key and Brie admitted that she didn't get snuck. She was like, she saw her coming and whatnot. But you know, yeah, Key, she got her lick back on Brie. Like, she really got her lick back. So it was like, yeah, I like those fights too. So yeah, y'all, my fave fights from the whole BGC franchise by season. I got season 1, Ty and Amy. I got season 4, Nat and Portia and Amber versus Flo. For season 5, I got the beach fight. But like I said, I did enjoy watching Brandy, you know, crash out. For season 6, I got Corey and Ashley. I got Wilma and Nikki, all their rounds. For season 7, I got Tiara and Angie. Like, y'all need to stop sleeping on the Tiara and Angie fight. It's like, they was fired. And I also got Judy and Priscilla. Tasha versus, wait, did I say Tasha versus, Stassi? If I didn't say that, then I meant to add that in there. Tasha versus, Stassi, because she tried to scratch Stassi, and you know, yeah, Stassi had to, you know, kind of do her thing on her. And then I also got Stassi versus Shelly, of course. For season 8, I got the twins versus the house, Amy versus Mimi, Camila and Amy, both rounds. Then for season 9, I got Christina and Julie versus Rima. Y'all don't sleep on that round. And then Erica versus Rima. And then, of course, I got Megan versus Rima and Fallon. In season 10, I got Rocky versus Valentina and Jen. Paula versus Shannon. And then Rocky and Alicia, both rounds. The one out, well, they were both outside. But yeah, both rounds. For season 11, I got Steph and Gigi versus Shanae, because all the other rounds in that show was just kind of, you know. And then for season 12, I got Jada and Lo, but only round 1 and round 2. For season 15, I got Jamie and Jazz versus Amber and Asia, the one on the stairs. And then I also got Jamie and Jazz versus, you know, the house when they were hating on them. And then Hanan and Suzu versus Amber and Christina. And then for season 16, I got Bernicia and Z's fight, only round 1 and round 3. And then I have Sway versus Winter, Bernicia and Candy. And then for season 17, I got Bree and Fran. And then, you know, when Kiki, she tried to get into it, so it's just like, yeah. But I also got Bree versus Key. They're around in the hotel. Seven versus Kiki. And then when Key got her lick back on Bree in the house. Oh, y'all, I'm not ready to rank them yet and only pick 10. Like, yeah, that's going to be my own work. Like, somebody told me to do my top 10. It's just like, I don't know which ones I'm going to pick, because all of these, like, y'all don't make me pick between my kids. Like, y'all don't make me do this. But yeah, y'all, those are my favorite fights of the whole BGC franchise by season. And it's gonna hurt my heart to only pick, you know, not all of them. Like, it's really gonna hurt me. But yeah, y'all, until I come back with that, you know it's about to be, well, it is Sunday. Y'all know I'm gonna be back with my Zeus and Now That's TV recaps. So until I come back with that, just make sure that y'all like, comment, subscribe, share, all that.